There is a grave in North Yankton, state of the Midwest, town of Ludendorff. On the headstone, the name reads, Michael Townley. The body inside it is not Michael. By the end of this video, you will know exactly who is buried in that grave, why Trevor Philips spent 9 years not knowing, and the dialogue in Bury the Hatchet that proves Michael wrote his own ending. If you watched our Trevor Philips backstory breakdown, you already know how this ends. You do not know how it gets there. Bradley Snider, born somewhere in the Midwest, year unknown. Criminal record long, prison time on and off through his 20s. By the late 1990s, he had a crew. 2 men, Michael Townley, born 65 or 68, in or out of prison most of his life. Trevor Philips, north of the border, drifting south. 3 men whose names would only be spoken together in police files and in the FIB's witness protection redactions. Their territory was a cold corner of the Midwest, North Yankton, the town of Ludendorff. Population low, bank traffic in cash, not cards. For 3 men with a plan and no patience, it was the perfect target. What we know about the heist is mostly geography. Drop point, getaway route. Snow on the ground deep enough to bury a man up to his thighs. Visibility down to maybe 100 feet. February 2004. The alarm logs put the start of the robbery at exactly 11:06 in the morning. The job was a payroll robbery at a Bobcat Security cash depot just outside town. Quiet building, light security. 2 armed guards on rotation. They went in fast. Brad's job on the inside was crowd control. Hostages on the floor, faces down. Brad in dialogue Rockstar preserves in the prologue audio, quote, "If anyone is killing hostages, it is me," end quote. Those were, incidentally, the first words ever spoken in the entire HD universe of Grand Theft Auto. What happened inside the depot is the cleanest part of the story. Michael, Brad, and Trevor took the money and ran. They made it to the getaway vehicle. The mess started in the snow outside. State troopers were already on the access road. A train was scheduled to cross the tracks 3 miles north. A detail the crew did not know. The getaway turned into a fight. Brad got hit. The wound was bad. The official story Rockstar bakes into the police files is simple. Brad survived. Brad was arrested. Brad went to prison. My reading is that the official story was the cover. Brad was not arrested. Brad died in the snow. The man who put the bullet in him was not a North Yankton state trooper. It was Michael. Or more precisely, a deal Michael had cut with a corrupt FIB agent named Dave Norton hours before the heist even started. Norton's career at the FIB was stalling. A successful sting on a high-profile heist crew was the kind of file that climbs the promotion board. Michael, for his part, was 30-something, married to Amanda, 2 kids, exhausted of the life. The receipts. Here is the structure of the deal as the dialogue eventually surfaces it. Norton needed 2 things: a high-value criminal scalp the FIB could parade, and a dead body on the report. The first he could fake. The second, he could not. Michael's solution was to make Brad the body. The trade closed before the depot doors even opened. Norton got 2 names on paper: Michael Townley listed as deceased, Brad Snider listed as imprisoned. Michael got a new last name, DeSanta. He got a payout, he got a house in Vinewood with a swimming pool and a wife who hated him. The FIB closed the Townley file the same afternoon. For 9 years, the lie held. My take on those 9 years: Trevor needed Brad to be alive more than he needed to know the truth. He drank. He ran his meth lab out of a trailer in Sandy Shores. He kept Brad's letters in a drawer with the postcards Michael had sent from Los Santos. He read them every winter. The letters were forgeries, FIB written. The handwriting was close, but the slant on the lowercase t's was wrong. Trevor never compared. He had no reason to. The man in the letters told him what he needed to hear: that Brad was alive, that Brad was angry, that Brad was waiting to get out. The lie was so well fitted that the truth would have felt like the actual forgery. Then, in 2013, Trevor figures it out. It is not one revelation. It is a chain of small things that finally do not add up. He drives to North Yankton in a Mesa truck stolen from a job he should not have been on. He drags Michael with him at gunpoint. The drive from Los Santos to Ludendorff is the longest stretch of silence in the entire game. There are two graves the camera lingers on. Bradley Snider, empty. Michael Townley, filled. Trevor brings the shovel. Trevor digs. Brad is in Michael's grave. He has been there for 9 years. Every letter Trevor read, every drink Trevor raised, Brad was already in the dirt. The reveal lasts about 4 seconds before the gunfire starts. What Rockstar does next is the masterstroke. Triads from Los Santos roll up at the cemetery. The reveal scene becomes a shootout. The emotional payoff is buried, pun intended, under a chase sequence. The popular theory on Reddit is that the cut to action was a budget call. Where I disagree with the consensus is the reading itself. I think it was deliberate. Rockstar did not want the viewer to sit with it. Because the harder question is the one Trevor does not ask out loud. If Michael cut Brad out of the life with a bullet, what stopped him from cutting Trevor out the same way? Our Trevor Philips backstory video has the answer. The short version, Michael liked Trevor. Michael never liked Brad. That is the Brad Snider reassembly. If you watched our Trevor backstory, the dialogue cited in this video reads differently the second time. If you have not, link is in the description. Which fate do you think hit harder? Brad in the dirt or Trevor with 9 years of forged letters? Drop your pick in the comments. Subscribe. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, we go deeper on GTA universe details like this one.